maybe saving his tyres, maybe coming to the end of its life, not quite sure. Michael Rossi in the Corvette, gaining on Dominic Schwager in the Lamborghini as we go on board with the number 3 Hexus Aston Martin of Clivio Piccioni, and I think Piccioni trying to move himself up through the field. Look, there's a door open on the Mark VDS Racing Team Ford. Let's go and get more reaction from Mark VDS with Baz Linders.
Baz, is that door going to survive till the pit stop happens?
Yes, I think so. It is maybe something very small, so it should be okay. I don't think it's a major problem, so we probably lose a few seconds during the pit stop in order to make sure it's shut, but for the rest should be okay.
Thank you.
As the leading trio cross the line, they're going to have to stay out for another lap. Oh,
somebody's in, but either the in prematurely or is that damage?
That's it, because they got damage to their front right tyre there in the Hexus Aston Martin. That's Andrea Piccini.
Strange, it doesn't look like it's a flat tyre, yet something's locking or blocking the wheel on the right, the right front.
Well, Piccini was down there in round about 9th place, but now moving slowly down the field as the pit lane window opens at worst possible time, John, to get a problem. 20 seconds later, they could have made a regulatory change, couldn't they? Unless they actually got into the pits as the window opened itself.
I mean, where it's the timing mark where you come into the pit lane. Oh, Corvette in trouble!
Zuber is off the track. And problems for Andy Zuber there. We didn't see what started it. Probably had some Beckett's.
He probably had a pop down the inside of Alex Miller going into Brooklands and got it wrong.
Well, let's just see here. Oh, no, it was down into Brooklands, you're right. No, something on the car, just skidding on his own, locking up under brakes, not quite sure.
Zuber has got to come in now as well. His tyres will have been damaged in that spin, so it should be Corvette and Aston in the pit lane.
And here comes the Aston down the pit lane now, and you're right, John. Andy Zuber coming in straight away. Lucas Luhr stays out on the track. Enrique Bernoldi stays out on the track as well, and it's all change at the young driver Aston Martin team. Alex Muller hands over to Thomas Enger. Mike Heserman very, very keen to get on with things now as he leaps into that Corvette. Such bad luck, of course, Mike Heserman had last year. His Corvette burst into flames and was so badly damaged we didn't see it again at the next race in GT1. He'll be hoping he'll be on fire for different reasons here this weekend. One of the Lamborghinis, I think that is, coming in.
Yes, I think the Schwager Pastorelli car. Let's look back to Lucas Luhr, still in control, leading this race, still with a gap, well, on the last lap, 7.7 seconds. It's irrelevant because it was all to do with the rounds of pit stop. Into Stowe, gets the car in, a little bit unstable on the entry, balances the car on the steering and the throttle on the exit, this time in the pit lane.
Right, and this is the race unfolding right in front of our very eyes, because on the track, Thomas Enger in the Aston Martin, charging as if his life depends on it. Seatbelts already being undone by Lucas Luhr as he cruises now into the pit lane, this long, long pit lane, and there is our car in second place in the race. Thomas Enger just about to start the hangar straight, I think, there.
Well, let's see how quickly Nissan can service the lead car. Can they get it done before this car on hangar straight? Now, this is going to be a horribly close call for Nissan, because I think Thomas, the tank, Enger, has got it, the tank filled to the brim of confidence.
And away they go then, the Nissan boys. Two of them changing all 4 tyres. Coming now into Vale, Thomas Enger. Really slow corner, first gear, only 85 kilometres an hour. They're doing as good a job as they possibly can down at JR Motorsports. They're right at the far end of the pit lane, and there goes the Nissan out now with Michael Krum, but I just get the feeling that they stayed out a couple of laps too long, because there goes Thomas Enger into the lead, and there's the Nissan now in second place. It's quite a margin. If they'd have left it just 1 lap to stay out, John, they might have got away with it. 2 extra laps to stay out, and I think they've just given the advantage to Aston Martin. Let's hear reaction from JR Motorsports and Lucas Luhr.
Lucas, what a stint that was. Why do you think that you lost the lead there?
We had a little bit communication issue with the pits. I thought to stay out 1 lap longer. In fact, I should have pitted 1 lap earlier, so we had a little bit of discommunication there. But it's still okay. We are in the second position right now, so hopefully everything stays like this. Maybe Michael can catch us up, you never know. And then we should be looking good for tomorrow.
Thank you.
He's 5.6 seconds behind Thomas Enger. Really? Is it okay? Let's ride on board now with the car number 10, the Belgian racing car of Antoine Leclerc that just got past its sister team car of Baz Linders and up into 9th place. And as we watch the 3-4 GTs having their own little battle for 8th, 9th and 10th, the stewards have reported there's a stop-and-go penalty of 10 seconds for car number 4. I would imagine by the time they get to the end of the hangar straight, then the Corvette might just be within a late braking range, but he doesn't want to do anything too stupid, does the Luxembourg driver. Round Stowe we go. Third gear, 135 kilometres an hour, maybe under braking interval. There's a chance. Here we go. Dives down the outside, but then just backs off a bit as Pastorelli slams the door. Let's go down and hear from Mark Henrici.
Mark, you seem to be in quite a situation out on track there with the door. How was that for you?
It was really difficult before, because in the left corners the door opened, and this affected massively the aerodynamic of the rear wing, and I had a snap oversteer, so it wasn't difficult, but was completely unnecessary situation where Piccione hit into me, and well, we see every race there's a crash, and some of the drivers they should think about their behavior, because we're only 16 cars and it's not really professional what we see here.
Thank you, Mark.
And I just wonder if Thomas Enger's got a bit of a problem here, and he's starting to be reeled in by the master angler that is Michael Crum at the moment. Let's find out from the young driver Aston Martin team. Alex Muller's with Haley Coxon.
Alex, Thomas seems to be dropping back on the pace. Is that due to tyre degradation or is part of the strategy?
Well, he's saving tyres. So I think we have 4 or 5 laps left, and if he keeps the speed, yeah, we will bring it home. The engineer told him to save tyres. Hopefully it's this. But I'm quite positive. Thomas is fighting.
Thank you, Alex.
Just shows you what the drivers have to cope with, John, doesn't it? Do you buy that excuse? Let's have a listen in on board. Three seconds the gap now. The best that Michael Crum can hope for is to put his lights on full beam and try and dazzle the Czech driver, but even that I think is a futile operation as Thomas Enger makes his way round the final corner round club to start his final lap of the race, and the gap 3.1 seconds.
So into Abbey, and the car goes through that seamlessly. Enger's really just sitting back and not having to work the car hard. He's not working himself hard. He knows the gap he has with Michael Crum. Their lap times have seesawed around the 2 minutes 2, 2 minutes 1 second per lap. Gap there looks fractionally closer as we come on this last lap of this 1 hour race, but the reality is it would take something disastrous to occur for Thomas Enger and the Aston Martin, the young driver Aston Martin team car, not to take victory this afternoon. And
it's going to be a very sweet taste of champagne for Thomas Enger, isn't it, who has retired from 3 out of the last 4 races in GT1 this season. In fact, he's had 4 retirements altogether. It'll be a 3rd podium of the season in a few moments' time, but his first win of the season as well for Thomas Enger and his teammates, the German driver Alex Muller. The young driver team celebrating here at Silverstone in just a few moments' time in a race that they've rather nicked from the hands of the JR Motorsport Nissan. Through Maggots and Beckett's one last time as Alex Muller makes his way towards the pit wall to join in the celebrations. It's a comfortable gap and has been ever since the round of pit stops. In fact, he could just look in his mirrors now, I think, and see the Nissan with him and see it closing up a little bit and almost toy like a mouse, a cat playing with a mouse and dangling it by the tail at the edge of its paws.
Very high-tech that. But anyway, we see the final time into Vale, and the checkered flag is already unfurled
and blowing in the breeze and ready to wave for Thomas Enger, who picks up his first win in the FIA GT1 World Championship in 2011. Michael Crum comes home for a second-place finish for Nissan. Well done to Aston Martin and Nissan, who confirmed what most people thought, that this could be the track, Silverstone, that suits their cars. This is the car that started on pole position for the race. Mike Hesselman comes home for a podium 12 months after seeing his Corvette disappear in flames on this very ground. He comes now to take that third place, and a long, long way behind. Warren Hughes will complete a Nissan double appearance in the top four. Aston Martin, the Hexas team with Stepp Dusseldorf, will come home for fifth place, and this man, Nicky Pastorelli, has manhandled that Lamborghini beautifully in the closing stages, John Watson, to pick up the final point in a sixth place finish.
Well, he played the mental game with the Corvette Dimitri angle there, and he just beat him on the poor guy in the Corvette. Couldn't deal with the pressure. He had opportunities to take the position, but didn't actually go ahead and exercise it.
So Enger and Muller, winners, and talking now with Hayley Coxon.
Congratulations, Thomas. It's good to see you back winning again, and we always thought you could do it because you won here last year.
Yeah, definitely. Our car was great today. We had, I think, the best pit stop in the whole paddock. We need to thank our guys because we got from P2 to P1 after the pit stop with some good margin. Alex did a great first stint from being P3 on the grid, P2 after the first corner or after the start, and then holding up, being close behind the Nissan. So it was a thrilling fight at the beginning, and then I think the pit stops made a difference, and yeah, we are very happy we could grab first starting position for tomorrow's race, and obviously the 8 points for a victory here.
Congratulations, Alex. Your first time here, and now your first qualifying race for 2011.
Thanks. Yeah, as Thomas said, the boys did a hell of a job on the pit stop. Otherwise, it would be tight because I was faster than the Nissan in my first stint. But it's a tank in front of you, driving, and it steals all the downforce, so it's nearly impossible to pass. But finally, yeah, we won. Thomas did a great job, and we're happy to be on pole for tomorrow for the championship race.
Thank you, guys.
Thomas Enger and Alex Muller, the winners then. Michael Crum and Lucas Luhr, Mike Hesselman and Andy Zuber making the 1, 2, 3. As you can see, the Sumo Power Nissan of Hughes and Benoldi a long way off the pace in fourth. The first Aston Martin, the Hexas Aston Martin team, Dusseldorf and Piccioni in fifth. And Pastorelli and Schwager hung on for a point that they possibly didn't think was ever going to be theirs come the start of this race in the Lamborghini.